Hey, Mike.
Hey, what's up, Nick?
Want to play a game?
I love games.
All right, so I had this idea the other night. I want to do your first concert, your best concert, and then your worst concert.
Ooh. That could be tough. All right.
I'll let you start.
All right, so we're going to start with first concert?
Yeah, let's start with first concert.
I'm going to catch some flack on this. I didn't see my first concert till I was like 24 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and it was Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers at the Quest Center, and it was an amazing show. Like, it was absolutely everything I hoped. Because it was 2010. Tom Petty wasn't the guy that hit all those high notes, so he still sounded amazing. And I can't remember his guitar player's name off the top of my head, but the dude was awesome. It was a great show. One of the best concerts I've ever been to. It was the first one I ever went to. What was your first one?
See, I might need help on this one, Mike.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I wasn't there with you.
No, I know. But this is a hard question for me to answer because technically, I guess the first concert I ever went to was Jason Aldean.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Templeton, Iowa. You know, Templeton Rye, where that's from, that.
Yep.
It's about 10 minutes away from my hometown, Manning.
Got it. Okay.
And I guess Jason Aldean somehow, some ways related to somebody from that area I'm from.
Of course.
And he agreed for some reason to do a concert in Templeton, which is weird because if you've ever been there, that's a town of like maybe 200.
Yeah. Not a big venue place.
It's a bunch of old people, I'm not kidding, driving golf carts through the town. Everybody drives golf carts. They never drive their cars.
So you got to see Jason. How old were you?
Like 7?
Oh, that doesn't
8?
even count.
No?
Oh, come on.
All right, well then maybe the second one then.
Okay, what's your first official concert?
Hollywood Undead.
Hey, that's not bad. I know a lot of our listeners probably don't know Hollywood Undead. Maybe I could be wrong on that, but Hollywood Undead, they put on a good show. Those guys are entertaining.
They were entertaining, and I saw it at the right time in my life because I don't really like them anymore. I can't listen to their music. It's just not what I'm into. But when I was a 14-year-old boy,
oh yeah,
like that was prime. It was really good. I went with my friend Randy and Skylar and Kayla.
Okay.
They all drove up. I was the baby of the group, and Randy, she'd been to a bunch of concerts before, and whenever she saw mosh pits like forming around me, she would just grab me at the last second, like yank me out of the way.
Oh.
And it was like,
well, that was nice of her.
it was weird because there was like a wall of death that would just happen, and then she had some kind of instinct. She grabbed me by my wrist and yanked me away. We started the concert at the very front by the gate.
Yeah.
By the time it was over, we were already at the very back of the room.
Oh, an overprotective. Well, I'm glad that you made it through, and that's a much better. I would say that's a much better show than Jason Aldean as far as show, an entertaining show.
So the Jason Aldean thing is also funny because none of us were paying attention. I was like 7. I was running around with all my friends.
Exactly.
All the adults were in the beer garden. And I'm not sure how true this is, but I heard a rumor that Jason Aldean absolutely hated that because nobody was paying attention to him. Everybody was just drinking instead.
Hey, you got a beer garden. You got to take advantage of it. Okay, so
Especially in small
what's
towns.
your favorite concert you've ever been to?
My favorite concert.
Yeah.
I might get a lot of flack for this one, Mike.
Okay.
Coldplay.
Really?
Really.
What about it made it your favorite concert? Was it the staging? Was it the talent? Was it just sometime in your life it was just connected with you? What was it?
It was kind of everything. It was weird. I've never had, because I've been to a lot of shows, and I've never had anything tick this many boxes. It was at CHI.
Okay.
Yeah. And so you get there. It's a big arena,
right?
You know, and I didn't have fantastic seats. Like I drug a friend along who didn't really like Coldplay, but they're a good friend.
Imagine that.
Yeah. And it started out, and you know how when you go to like an arena show and it doesn't feel like everybody's kind of there. It just kind of feels like they're singing to like the people.
The pit.
Like, yeah, like the pit.
Right.
Coldplay had a really weird way of making everybody feel included, even to the point of having a mini stage set up like toward the back of the arena.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the show, they just walked up to there. Like people were straight up like they could grab them.
Oh.
And like hang on to them.
Interesting.
So much confetti. It was ridiculous. Like, I don't know how much money they spent on the confetti budget at that show, but it was just like stars, squares, circles.
They've got a solid $20,000 confetti budget.
They had
Coldplay goes all out for the confetti.
And then they also had, so my favorite part when you were first going in after they redeemed your ticket or whatever, they had like these light up wristbands and they were synced up to the show.
Oh.
So, yeah.
So like the light went along with the music.
Yeah.
Flashed. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool.
They played the song Yellow, and of course everybody's wristbands lit up yellow. but they had like this pulsating thing. It was like a rainbow type of situation where one side of the arena was blue, then like all the way around it was different colors, and then it would like switch around.
Oh, it's like the lazy man's wave.
Yeah.
I like it.
And then like they would vibrate to like the music beats and stuff. It was crazy good. And I just really like Coldplay. So
Okay, interesting. That is a pretty cool thing to do at your show. I would say my favorite concert. It's tough. It's between two of them. I'm really into older rock. I grew up on 50s and 60s rock music because of my dad, and I got to see Dick Dale, who's the original surf rock guy. I got to see him at the Waiting Room.
Oh.
So it was like right up close and personal, and I had never seen this before. Dick Dale played every instrument during his set, but he actually played the bass guitar with drumsticks, and it was amazing. Like the bass player was fretting, and Dick Dale was sitting there like hitting the strings with drumsticks, playing the song. It was unbelievable, and I was about 15 feet away from him, right, because it's the Waiting Room.
Mike, that's awesome.
It was great, and then that's tied with seeing Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys.
Oh,
he did a few years ago. He was at Stir and did Pet Sounds from front to back. One of my favorite albums growing up. I mean, that was just like seeing a legend. Like to me, seeing Brian Wilson was like seeing John Lennon or seeing Buddy Holly. That dude is just up there. So I would have to put that as a tie for my greatest concerts.
What's your worst?
Now we get to the fun part.
We have to get to the worst.
My worst concert, it wasn't because of who I went and saw. It was because of what happened. So anybody watching or listening that remembers the Red Sky Music Festival, do you remember this, Nick?
I've heard the name.
Okay. This was a train wreck.
Okay.
They down at the baseball field, TD Ameritrade. I think it was 2011, 2012. They had like a music festival. They were bringing in all these people. Well, me and my brother and his, at the time, fiance set me up on like a blind date.
Oh, no.
Right? So that wasn't too bad.
Okay.
The problem was Red Sky Music Festival was a concert that was at TD Ameritrade outside in August, and it was 115 degrees.
Who scheduled this concert?
I mean, you schedule it way in advance, right?
Yeah.
So it was Journey and Night Ranger. Awesome show. But Night Ranger, the next time I saw them, they even mentioned it, how awful it was when they came. Because it was just, I just remember standing at TD Ameritrade with two tall boy beers in my hand, just like, I want to go home. And I was just dripping in sweat, and my blind date was just awful. She didn't like either bands. It was all around a train wreck. The best part was, got to see Journey and Night Ranger.
Hey, that's cool.
It was cool, but it was one of those things where I don't know if I'll ever do an outdoor concert again when it's 100 degrees plus. That was
yeah.
What about you, man?
Outdoor concerts are rough to do in this area.
Yeah, it's either freezing cold or crazy hot. But hey, Stir, I don't know how Stir does it. I've never been to a Stir show that it's horrible.
Oh, Stir's great.
Like it rains sometimes, whatever. But I've never been there where it's crazy cold or crazy. They have good blessings there at Stir. What about you? What was the craziest concert or worst concert you've been to?
So the worst concert makes me really upset because I genuinely love the band, but it was Modest Mouse. I saw Modest Mouse at Ralston, and there was something about the audio was garbage. Like the engineer.
Yeah.
I was in the middle, so like I was in the pit.
Right.
Like you should still be able to hear it in the pit. The guitars I think were too loud. The microphone, the singer was too low. The drums were just kind of always
strange.
Yeah. And like I get that it's not supposed to sound like the album. Like I wasn't expecting that, but it sounded like garbage. I was drinking that night too. And I'm a happy drunk, Mike.
The sound guy was in the bathroom the whole night, right? He was just hanging out.
He had to have been.
You got it.
And I'm not the only, it wasn't just me. I've talked to so many other people. They're like, yeah, Modest Mouse was like horrible.
Weird.
And like, you could tell the energy, like the lead singer, I'm horrible at remembering names, but like he wasn't into it. A lot of the band members weren't super into it. They did do one really cool thing where they got the girl who was in the opening band to come out and like play with them a little bit. And I really like that integration. It really makes it feel like a bigger thing. Cool. But it sucks because I really wanted to see that band. Like I bought this ticket.
Right, I was right there with Journey. Like I was like, I've always wanted to see Journey, and they had the dude from the Philippines, the lead singer that they did the documentary about. He was the singer at the time, so I was really looking forward to it. And it's just like that's the worst. You pay money, you look forward to for a month or two. You're all jacked up, and you go, and it's just like this is the worst.
Do you have any shows you're gonna go to soon?
Oh no, yeah. I've been asking around trying to get into that Guns N' Roses show. I want to go see that. That was as a kid. Guns N' Roses was my band, like of newer music. That was my, and I've always wanted to see them. And I've always heard that a lot of people's best and worst concerts were both Guns N' Roses shows.
It just depends on Axl's mood, I guess.
Yeah,
huh?
depends on which Axl shows up. So I'd really like to see that. I don't know. I don't have anything planned as of right now, but definitely want to go see. I would like to see Phil Collins too. That'd be amazing. What about you? You got anything planned?
I'm gonna go see a band called Starset in a couple weeks. I don't really know how to explain them. It's like rock, but they've got some electronic elements into it.
Cool.
But during that transition phase from like high school to college, like small town to big city,
Yeah.
their first album really helped me through a lot, and I've seen them like 5 or 6 different times
Cool.
since like 2015. But this time I got the VIP thing. Like
What
I
what
splurged.
band have you seen the most?
Starset.
Starset.
Or no. So it's a tie between Starset and In This Moment, but In This Moment was super accidental every time. Like I've gone for other bands and then In This Moment was there, which I don't hate In This Moment. Like they're really freaking good, but you don't need to see them like 5 or 6 different times.
I've seen Night Ranger 3 times. That's the band I've seen the most.
That's such a weird band to just see.
They come to Omaha a lot, and it's like every show I went to, they were either the headliner or the second headliner, or the opening act or whatever. So I've seen Night Ranger 3 times. Every time I've seen him, great. Awesome. 115 degrees, red sky, trapped in TD Ameritrade with 2 hot tall boys in my hand, just hating life. Still amazing show put on by Night Ranger.
I might have to do that. One more tangent. You down?
Oh, I'm down. What's up?
Dream concert.
Dream concert? You know, a few years ago, I had in my hand Red Hot Chili Peppers tickets when they came into town.
I went to that one.
And I could not go. And I had to give them to a buddy because of stuff that was going on with my son at the time.
Oh,
so
no.
I couldn't go. And that was like, people used to always ask me, other than Guns N' Roses, because that was always my dream show, like Red Hot Chili Peppers was right up there. And I had the tickets in hand and I couldn't go. So I would say Red Hot Chili Peppers or Guns N' Roses, probably dream concert. All-time dream concert, man. Janis Joplin,
Oh.
Jimi Hendrix, one of those two, seeing them live would just be, I think, or The Who.
The Who.
The Who in their heyday when they just used to blow everything up and smash it. I think that'd be pretty cool. So, what about you, man?
So I've already seen my super dream concert. It was the Smashing Pumpkins when they came around last
Right, I
year.
remember you
'Cause
telling me
it's
about that.
My all-time favorite band. I've got a freaking tattoo on my body.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, Smashing Pumpkins. I've gotten extremely lucky. I'd like to see the Foo Fighters.
There you go.
I
Your dream concert can't be a concert you've already seen, Nick.
no, that's fair. Foo Fighters,
Foo Fighters.
because it seems like they go everywhere but Omaha or Lincoln. Even they weren't even in Lincoln, were they?
Yeah, I can't remember last time. Have Foo Fighters ever been here?
I don't know if they have. It hasn't been recently because I think they were in like Colorado, then they were in Sioux City, then they were in Des Moines. It's
All
like
right.
they went all around
We
us.
need to get on that.
I need to see.
We need to get Foo Fighters in Omaha.
I
Or
just
Lincoln.
want to see Dave Grohl.
Yeah,
That's all I want.
The dude's he's a national treasure.
He is. I love that guy.